ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar, my dear friends. This video I am going to make on the dialogues from the Upanishads, and now the Upanishad I have chosen Mundaka Upanishad. So first Mundaka, first Khanda, Sonka and Angiras. First stanza. Brahma was the first among the Devas, the creator of the universe, the protector of the world. He taught the knowledge of Brahma, the foundation of all knowledge, all sciences, to his eldest son Atharva. Second stanza, whatever Brahma told Atharva, that knowledge of Brahma Atharva first told to Angira, and he taught it to Satyavata of the family of Bhardvaja, and Satyavata taught it to Angiras, the knowledge traditionally obtained by the succession of teachers. Stanza 3. Sonaka, the great householder, approached Angiras respectfully and asked, "What is that, O Bhagwan, which being known, all this becomes known?" Stanza 4. He said to him, "Two kinds of knowledge must be acquired. This is what all who know Brahma tell us, viz. Para and Apara, that is the higher and the lower knowledge." Stanza 5. Of these, the lower knowledge is the Rig Veda, the Samaveda, and the Atharva Veda, the Shiksha phonetics, Kalpa code of rituals, Vyakarna grammar, Nirukta etymology, Chandas meter, and Jyotish astrology. But the higher knowledge is that by which the immortal is known. Stanza 6. That which cannot be seen nor seized, which has no origin, which has no properties, which has neither ear nor eye, which has neither hands nor feet, which is eternal, all-pervading, omnipresent, extremely subtle and imperishable, the wise regarded as the source of all beings. Stanza 7. As the spider sends forth and draws in its thread, as plants grow from the earth, as hairs grow from the living man, so this universe proceeds from the immortal Brahma. Stanza number 8. By tapas, Brahma swells, and from it food is produced. From food, the prana, the mind, the bhutas, the words, karma, and with it its rewards. Stanza number 9. From the Brahma who knows all and knows everything in detail, whose penance has the nature of knowledge, are produced this Brahma, name, form, and food. Now, second Khanda, stanza number 1. The sacrifice, the sacrificial works which the wise found in the mantras of the Vedas are true. Second Khand, stanza number 1. The sacrificial works which the wise found in the mantras of the Veda are true and were much performed in the Treta age. Practice them always diligently, ye lovers of truth. That is your path that leads to the world of good works. Second stanza. When the fire is kindled and the flame flickers, let the sacrificer offer his oblations on the space between two the portions where the ghee should be poured. It must be offered with faith. Stanza 3. If a man's Agnihotra sacrifice is not accompanied by the new moon and full moon sacrifices, Darsha and Purnamasa, by the 4 months sacrifices, Chaturmasya, and by the sacrifice in the autumnal season, Agriyana. If it is unattended by guest, Atithi, if it is not done in proper time or performed without the right to the Visudevas or not performed according to rule, then it destroys his world till the seventh. Stanza 4. The 7 flickering tongues of the fire are Kali, black one, Karali, the terrific one, Manojoya, swift as the mind, Sulohita, red one, Sudhu Maruvarna, of purple color, Sufulingini, sparkling, and Viswaru, having all forms. Stanza 5. Whoever performs his karma, Agnihotra, when these flames are shining and in proper time, then these oblations lead him through the rays of the sun to where the one Lord of the Deva dwells. Stanza 6. Come hither, the brilliant oblations say to him and carry the sacrificer through the rays of the sun, bidding him welcome, honoring him and uttering pleasant speech. This is the holy Brahma, world gained by the good works. Stanza 7. Perishable and transient are verily the 18 supporters of the sacrifice on whom this lower ceremonial depends. Those ignorant persons who delight in this as the highest good are subject again and again to old age and death. Stanza 8. The ignorant beings in the midst of ignorance but fancying themselves wise and learned go round and round, oppressed and miserable as blind people led by the blind. Stanza 9. Living in various ways in ignorance, the ignorant imagine that they have obtained their end because the performers of work are not wise owing to their passions. They become miserable and after the fruits of their karma are finished fall from heaven. Stanza number 10. These ignorant persons fancying sacrifice and charitable gifts as their highest object do not know any higher good. Having enjoyed the fruits of their works on the high place of heaven, which they gained by their good works, they enter again this world or a lower one. Stanza 11. But those who practice penance and faith in the forest with subdued senses, learned and live the life of a mendicant living on alms, go freed from sin through the sun to where immortal and imperishable Purusha dwells. Stanza 12. Let a Brahmana, after he has examined the world gained by karma, acquire freedom from all desires, reflecting that nothing that is eternal can be gained by karma. Let him, in order to obtain the knowledge of the eternal, take sacrificial fuel samid in this hands in his hands and approach that preceptor alone who is versed in the Vedas and is established in Burma. Stanza 13. To that pupil who has approached him respectfully, whose mind is at rest and whose senses are subdued, let the wise teacher truly teach that Brahma Vidya, science of Brahmana, through which the true immortal Purusha is known. So, second Mundaka, first Khanda, stanza number 1. This is the truth as from a blazing fire, sparks being like unto fire, issue forth by thousands, so various jivas are produced from the indestructible Brahma, O beloved youth, and they also returned to him. Stanza 2. He is very luminous, without form. He is both without and within, unborn, without prana, without mind, pure and greater than the great indestructible one. Stanza 3. From him are born the prana, the mind, all organs of senses, akasa, the wind, the fire, water, and the earth, the sport of all. Stanza 4. Fire is his head, his eyes, the sun and the moon, the quarters, his ears, his speech, the Vedas disclose, the wind, his breath, his heart, the universe, from his feet came the earth. He is indeed the inner self of all beings. Stanza 5. From him is produced the fire whose fuel is the sun. From the moon, Prasanya, clouds. From him the rain, the annual herbs that grow on the earth. From these man emits semen into the woman. Thus many living beings are produced from the Purusha. Stanza 6. From him come the Rig, the Sama, the Yajur, the Diksha, initiatory rites, all sacrifices and offerings of animals. Kratos, the feast given to priest, the ear, the sacrifice, and the worlds in which the moon purifies and sun shines brightly. Stanza 7. From him also were produced in many ways the gods, the sadhyas, the man, the cattle, the birds, the prana, and the apana, rice and corn, penance, devotion, birth, celebration, rule. Stanza 8. From him proceed the seven pranas, sense, the seven flames, the seven kinds of fuel, the seven sacrifice, the seven lokas, worlds where the pranas move, which rest in the cave of the heart and are placed there seven and seven. Stanza 9. From him proceed the oceans and all the mountains and the rivers of every kind. From him also emanate the annual herbs and the juice by which, together with the elements, the inner self is upheld. Stanza 10. The Purusha alone is all this universe. Karma, sacrifice, penance, Brahma, the highest immortal, He who knows this hidden in the cave of the heart breaks the knot of ignorance even here on earth, O gentle youth. Second Khanda, stanza 1. Bright, near moving in the cave of the heart is the great being. In him is centered all that moves, breathes, and winks. Know this as what is all that has form and all that is formless, which is to be adored, which is beyond the reach of man's knowledge and the greatest of all. Second stanza, that which is brilliant, smaller than the small, that on which all the worlds are founded and their inhabitants is this immortal Brahma, that is the prana, speech and mind, that is true and immortal, O gentle youth, that is to be it. Stanza 3. Having taken the bow supplied by the Upanishads, the great weapon, and fixed in it is arrow sharpened by incessant meditation, and having drawn it with the mind fixed on the Burma heat of gentle youth at that mark the immortal Burma. Stanza 4. Parnava Om is the bow, the Atma is the arrow, and the Brahma is called its aim. It is to be hit by a man who is self collected with concentration, and then as the arrow becomes one with the target, he will become one with Brahma. Stanza 5. In him the heaven, the earth, the sky, the mind with the pranas senses are centered. Know him alone as the Atma of all and leave of all other speech. This is the road to immortality. Stanza 6. He who moves like spokes for he moves about becoming manifold within the heart where the nerves meet like spokes fastened to the nave of a wheel. Meditate on Om as the self. Heal to you that you may go to the other side beyond darkness. Stanza 7. This Atma who is omniscient, who knows everything in detail, whose glory is manifested in the world, is placed in the ether, in the bright city of Burma. He is of the nature of the mind and becomes the guide of life and the body. He subsists in food in close proximity to the heart. The wise behold with the aid of their superior knowledge the Atma which shines forth full of bliss and immortal. Stanza 8. The knot of all the heart is broken, all doubts are solved, and all his karmas perish when he who is both high and low is beheld. Stanza 9. In the innermost golden sheath there is the Brahma without stains and without parts. That is pure, that is light of lights. That is what the knowers of the Atma know. Stanza 10. The sun does not shine there, nor do the moon and the stars, nor these lightnings, and much less this fire. When he shines, everything shines after him. By his light, all this is illumined. Stanza 11. That immortal Brahma is before, that Brahma is behind, to the right and to the left, below and above, all pervading. Brahma alone is all this. It is the highest. Third Mundaka, first Khanda. Stanza 1. Two birds, inseparable companions, dwell upon one and the same tree. One of them eats the sweet fruit, the other looks on without eating. Second, being seated on the same tree, the jiva emerged in worldliness and bewildered grieves on account of helplessness. But when he sees the other, the Lord who is adored by all and his glory, then his grief passes away. Stanza 3. When the seer beholds the golden colored creator of the world, the Lord, the Purusha, the source of Brahma, then he is wise and shaking of good and evil without spot, he obtains the highest identity. Stanza 4. This is verily prana, that is the Lord shining forth in all living beings. The wise who thus knows does not talk of anything else. He sports in the self, he delights in the self, and performing his works, he is the greatest among the knowers of Brahma. Stanza 5. This Atma must verily be obtained by the constant practice of truth, penance, perfect knowledge, and by abstinence. He whom the sinless and anchorites, behold, is the pure and effulgent within the body. Stanza 6. Truth alone triumphs, but not falsehood. By truth is opened Devayana, or the path of the Devas, by which the old sages, satisfied in their desires, proceed to where there is that highest place of the true one. Stanza 7. That true Brahma shines forth grand, divine, inconceivable, subtler than the subtle. It is far beyond what is far, and yet near here and seen fixed in the cave of heart by the wise. Stanza 8. He is not grasped by the eye, nor by speech, nor by the other senses, nor by penance, nor by the good work. When a man's mind is purified by the serene light of knowledge, then alone he beholds the indivisible Brahma by meditation. Stanza 9. This subtle Atma is to be known by the mind as being in the body, whose prana fivefold divided entered. The mind of every creature is pervaded by these pranas. When the mind is purified, then the Atma shines out of itself. Stanza 10. A man of purified mind gains that world and those desires which he imagines in his mind. Therefore, let a man who is desirous of prosperity, happiness, worship him who knows the Atma. Second Khanda. Stanza 1. He knows this Supreme Brahma, the place where all this universe rests and which shines brightly. The wise who free from desires worship that person, transcend the seed, are not born again. Stanza number 2. He who forms desires in his mind is born again through his desires here and there, but to him whose desires are fulfilled and who has realized the Atma, all desires vanish even here on earth. Stanza 3. This Atma cannot be obtained by study of Vedas or intelligence or much learning. He whom the self chooses, by him the self can be gained. To him this Atma reveals its true nature. Stanza 4. This Atma cannot be attained by one who is destitute of strength or with earnestness or by penance without mark. But if a wise man strives after it by those means, then his self enters into Brahma. Stanza number 5. When the sages have attained the Atma, they become satisfied with their knowledge, their purpose is fulfilled, they become free from desires and they are tranquil. Having attained the all pervading Atma on all sides and devoted to the self, they enter into everything. Stanza 6. Having without doubt all ascertained the import of the knowledge of Vedanta and having purified their minds by the yoga of renunciation, all anchorites attain the world of Brahma and at the time of death become fully liberated. Stanza 7. Where 15 kalas parts enter into their elements, their devas into their corresponding devas, their deeds and their self full of knowledge become all one in the highest and imperishable Brahma. Stanza 8. Just as the flowing rivers disappear in the sea, losing their names and forms, so also a seer freed from name and form goes to the divine person who is greater than the great. Stanza 9. He who know that highest Brahma becomes even Brahma in his line. No one who does not know Brahma will be bound. He overcomes grief, good and evil, and being freed from the fetters of the heart becomes immortal. Stanza 10. This is declared by the following Rick verses. Let one teach this knowledge of Brahma to those only who perform the karma enjoined, who are versed in the Vedas and firmly established in the Brahma, who endowed with full faith offer oblations themselves to the fire called Ekarsi and who perform the vow called Srivorta, who Shirovarta, who carry fire on the head according to the rule of the Athronas. Stanza 11. The Rishi Angiras formerly taught this true science of Brahma to Shanaka. Let none read this who has not performed the proper rites. Salutation to the great Rishis, salutation to the great Rishis. So, here ends this video. The next video will be on Upanishad. So thank you my dear friends for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the